everyone. We are doing a lab today, so I just want to go over some things with you first, go over some norms, and answer a couple of questions, and then we're going to start with the work. First of all, folks, don't message your teachers just yet. Wait until later today, probably around 3 or 4. The reason why EDSB is so slow, all of us had to be on this morning. We were supposed to be submitting grades, and with every time we have grades due in the district, the EDSB is slow in the morning, okay? The work is due today. It doesn't mean it's due by 4 or 5 o'clock, okay? It's due today. So if you can't submit your assignments later on today, I usually go into EDSB and do the majority of my stuff in the afternoon after 4 or 5 o'clock so that the majority of people are off and it actually functions better for me. Okay, I try not to do grading or anything like that before then, only because it's just very slow. So that could be part of your problem this morning. Teachers trying to submit grades, administrators trying to approve grades. It should get better once you get out of class and you try to go in. I just restart the program. It should be a little bit better for you. Norms for this class, remember how you're supposed to behave in the chat. The purpose of the chat is to ask questions. Your main focus here is to pay attention to the lesson, but your main focus is to ask questions in the chat. If you're chatting a little bit, I don't mind, but when you're not focused on what we're doing, then you're missing the whole point of the live lesson. And some of the things that I've seen, some of the questions that I've got, it's evident that people aren't paying attention in class, or else some of those questions wouldn't be happening. Now, I posted yesterday instructions on how to submit your homework online. People keep emailing me their homework. Please don't email me the assignments, because if the email is lost in a shuffle of hundreds of emails and I don't see it, it's a problem. When you post it the way you're supposed to post it, EDSB in the gradebook tells me that your assignment was posted. So please, please, please make sure you're posting your assignment correctly, okay? I'm going to take a moment for some questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and start the lab. Once again, conduct is important in this class. Please watch what you're posting. I do not want to have to block commentary, because then that means you can't answer questions, but I will if I see things that are inappropriate. All right, so if you go into EDSB, you should see what's due. I believe 75 was due today. I'm going to start going over them tomorrow. I was planning on going over the work today, but the problem with that is if people aren't able to get into it, it's going to make it harder. Please make sure you go in and get your homework done, though, because we are going to start going over it tomorrow. And if it's not submitted by tomorrow, then I'm going to start putting zeros in the grade book, because that assignment's been sitting in there for at least a week. Okay. I see a question pop up. I posted instructions last night on how to turn it in. There was actually a video on how to turn it in. Also, I mentioned it a couple of times last week during the live chat. So please refer to EDSB later on today. I'm not going to look at the assignment today, or if I do, it'll be much, much later in the evening. I'll start putting grades in for that and finish off in the morning. But the instructions are posted with a video on how to upload your assignments, because I've mentioned it several times and I'm still getting emails on them. No, all of it is not due today. I mentioned last week assignments are due. EDSB assignments are due in the order in which they were given. So if you go into each individual assignment, the first one, 75, is due today. I believe 76 is due tomorrow. 77 may be due tomorrow as well, and 78 is due Wednesday. Okay, you can see the closing date on each assignment that I've given you. No, everything for last week is a grade. I just can't officially start marking things late until this week. Those activities, if we do go back to school and we have finals, those activities are still going to be on the final. Also, if you look at those activities, they are involved in your next unit test, which you guys will be taking online. So those activities are still a part of it. Okay, so don't worry about being late, Sienna. Anyone who is late, you can always go back and watch the beginning of the video later on and get instructions. Please make sure you do 75's homework if you haven't already turned it in. Like I said, wait until a little bit later because SB has been a little bit laggy. Now that grades had to be due by a certain point, I'm sure administrators are still trying to approve because it was so incredibly slow. But at that point, just make sure that you wait a little while and go ahead and try to work on your assignments a little bit later in the afternoon. But like I said, EDSB is very slow. It's one of the reasons why I was encouraging people to work on assignments last week, because with, you know, teachers needing to be in this morning, it was going to slow the system down. I did not receive any notification from the district yet, unless your parents got a call. As far as we know, according to the information I have, we did not get official notification that school is extended to April 30th. I could be wrong. I could have missed a message. It could be because everything's been so laggy that they haven't had a chance to notify us yet. As soon as I know, you will know, okay? But as far as I know, that has not been done yet. So, all right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the lab. But if I may remind you, we do have certain norms that you do need to abide by. So please make sure that you're not saying things that are inappropriate. Please make sure you're not posting comments or arguing in the classroom. Okay, so we are doing activity 75. Okay, welcome. All right, we're doing activity 75. And what we're looking at is inertia in a circle. So what we basically are doing here, and I put this white paper here so that things will flow a little bit better. Okay, so the purpose of this circle is to identify how an object will move in a circle. Okay, so set up the circular track as shown below and make sure it's placed where everyone in your group can easily view it. Now, practice setting the metal marble counterclockwise around the inside of the circular track so it'll go around 2 or 3 times before stopping. So, okay, I think I'm at an angle here. These haven't been used yet, so they're a little stiff. 1, okay. Okay, so that's basically what they want you to do. So now, set the opening to A. So A is over here. So we're going to open it like so. Okay? And I'm going to place it this way. So now, discuss with your group where you predict the metal marble will roll once it has gone around the circular track and travels through the opening. So if I were to start rolling it here, and I were to push the marble, where would we predict that we would go? Okay, my best prediction is that it's going to go this way. So we're going to take this little yellow cone, this little tiny cone, and I'm going to put it right there about there, because that's what my prediction is. Okay, so what we're going to do is position once we position the cone, we're going to show the path predicted on our student sheet. Okay, so this is our student sheet. Okay, so we're going to look at the predicted path here. So for me, I moved my thing a little bit. Let me go ahead and open up. Okay, for me, I am predicting that this is going to go like this. And I'm predicting it's going to happen from the internal portion. So that's my prediction. Okay? Now, we'll move that for a moment. And then we're going to go ahead. Okay, let me get rid of the white marble. And then we're going to, okay, I'll do that again. Okay, so this was slightly off, but I also did shift it. So we actually went, let's see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I literally just grazed it. So my first marble went that way. Okay. Guys, please pay attention. Not through Edsby message. Please look at the instructions that I gave you to post your assignments. I posted instructions last night because I have so many Edsby messages that I'm getting. It's very possible I'll miss your homework. That's why I want everyone to post it, because if you post it in the assignments category, Edsby shows me in the grade book that you've actually posted your homework. And I'll review that again towards the end of the period. Okay, so that was my first prediction. So on the student sheet, show the path predicted and using the same speed, send the metal marble around and observe the path it takes. Repeat step 7 several times until your group agreed on the most common path of the marble. So here, okay, we're looking here at the most common path of the marble. Okay, one thing you can't do with long nails. Okay, I've shifted everything at this point, so I apologize. Okay, and then you would make your adjustments as necessary, okay, to see what the path is. Okay, so it's basically just grazing the end at this point. Okay, so that pretty much is the most predicted path right there. Okay, so draw a solid line on position A diagram, the most common path of the marble. So the most common path of the marble was right here, and it just passed the cone. So it came up on edge with the cone. Oops, sorry. So this is path A. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up without moving it to path B. Okay. Now, we're going to do the same thing again. Now, looking at our student sheet, I'm going to draw my prediction. I don't want to go in there, so I'll show you what it is once I've drawn it. Oh, actually, that was position C. I apologize. This is position C. Now we're going to do position B. I have to actually turn this around. I don't know why they gave it to me backwards. Okay, so we're going to do this again. And get rid of that paper. I apologize, guys. They give it to you backwards and you have to take it apart and put it back together, and I missed that this morning. Okay, so we're going to start with position A again. Okay, so I landed right on it. So this is A. We're now going to go to position B. Make sure I kept this right. That's A. Okay. So my prediction for position B is going to be here. If you're asked, I don't know if anyone's asking me any questions. If you are, I'm not looking at it just yet. Let me finish going through this and I'll do position. I'll go through any questions you have. All right, so for position B, my prediction on the worksheet is as such. Okay, so you can see that I predict that it's going to go that way. So let's take a look for position B. And I nailed it the first time. So this is position B. And our last position, C, my prediction is that it's going to go here. And it will look like this. So that's my prediction for position C. So let's take that marble. I'm slightly off. Oh, I hit it. And it hit right here. So that is C. Okay? So now, why would the marble have taken that path? Okay? Can anyone give me a reason why they think the marbles would have taken the paths that they've taken? Because that's when the curve ended. Okay, it's a circle. Because the curve is ending there, an item will continue to move in the direction that it was last going in. Okay, so here the item is currently following a curve because in that curve, it's being forced to move in a particular direction. Think of taking like a washer and tying it to a string and swinging it above your head. It keeps it in a circle. But if you were to let that washer go, is that washer going to continue to go in a circle? Correct. So the direction it goes in is the last direction that the track was directing it towards. Okay, if you were to swing something above your head and let it go, as soon as you would let it go, it will go flying in the last direction it was directed towards. It's the same thing with a planet. Planets are held into their position around the sun because it's being pulled in that position. If a planet were to lose its gravitational pull with the sun, it would go in the direction that it was last going in before it lost its gravitational pull. So an object is going to keep moving in its direction unless an outside force is preventing it from moving. And if the outside force is keeping it from moving, then it's going to follow whatever the force is forcing it to do, in this case, the circle. But once that's no longer present, it's going to continue to move in the last direction it was going in. Does that make sense? Okay, so what we're going to do now, part B, we're going to look at a low mass marble. So looking at the marbles that are in my hand, I used the heavy steel marble. Now I'm going to use the light glass marble. So we're going to do the exact same steps. Okay, instead of a metal marble, we're going to use a low mass marble. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the exact same track, but I'm going to change the color of my marker. So if we were doing track A, this is, okay, if we were doing track A, and this is just going to keep moving, terrible. This is the direction it would go if it was the heavy marble. So we're going to compare the heavy marble to the light marble. Okay? So now it followed the same track. Now we're going to repeat the same steps, but let's take a look at the heavy marble really quickly. And let's take a look at the light marble. Do you guys see any changes in speed? And are they going along the same track or are they changing track? Okay, I'll do it again. This is the heavy marble. And this is, oh, I moved, hold on a second. And this is the light marble. Are they pretty much going along the same track? Okay, they are going along the same track. Okay, and the speed, okay, the lighter one does go a little bit faster, but it does keep the same track. Okay, looking for B. Okay, B. Let's take a look at the heavy one, and then we'll look at the light one. And once again, they follow the same track. Okay? And then the third one, C. Looking at the heavy marble again. Oh, hold on one second. I moved. Marbles are a little on the slippery side. Looking at the heavy one and looking at the light one, they both go along the same track. The light one seems to move a little bit faster given the same amount of push. Okay, so that's basically how to do the lab itself. And then they go into the analysis questions. Okay, the analysis questions, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move my camera really quickly so that you're looking at me and not down. Okay. All right, so looking at the analysis questions, you're going to be expected to describe the changes in direction and speed of the marbles when they traveled inside and outside the track. So you may want to go ahead and look at this video just a couple more times and just follow what it's doing in the track. I know I went back and forth. Hopefully you'll be able to remember it. Describe any changes in the path of the marble occurred at the position in the circular track. And describe any changes in the path of the marble that occurred when you changed the position of the track. So when we went from A to B to C, and the mass of the marble. So when we went from the heavy marble to the light marble. Okay. And imagine a car is approaching a curve in the road when it suddenly loses its steering and brakes. The area is flat and there's no guardrail on the road. So copy the diagram below in your notebook. I'll actually have that picture on the screen when you go to do your homework. And it says, draw a line showing the car's path when it loses its steering and brakes. Okay, so now remember, there is no guardrail. How would your answer change if the car had more mass? Okay, so once again, looking at how the heavy one goes and the light one. Oh, that's interesting. Take a good look at that. Let me move the ruler out of the way. So it hit over here. Let's look at what the light one does. And the light one hit over here. So obviously the light one is moving faster. So if it's moving faster, what can you say about its direction? Oh, my bad. Sorry. We'll take a look at it one more time. All right, we'll take a quick look at it again. Look at where the heavy marble hits versus the light marble. You're gonna have to keep an eye quick. So the heavy marble hit over here. Okay, I'll try to go a little bit slower. So since the heavy marble slows down, what can you say about its path? Which one stays in its path longer? Okay, the path is shorter for which one? The lighter one stayed on a little bit longer. Okay, the heavy one slowed down faster, and as a result, it succumbed to gravity. Okay. All right. So sorry about that, guys. I forgot I had switched the camera. All right. So that's pretty much the lab. So let me go over what we are going to do tomorrow and remind you about the homework. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to go over activity 75. Okay. Wednesday we'll do 76 and 77, and Thursday we'll do 78 in terms of going over the questions. Once we've done that, we are going to also do the necessary activities. Now, we are very close to getting to activity 81. Activity 81 is the last activity before a test. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend quite a bit of time reviewing, going over material, and you'll take the test next week. We have no class on Friday. Remember, we only have class Monday through Thursday. So when we're doing the review, please pay attention to everything I'm going over. I will create a review sheet for you, and I'll post it in Edsby. So that'll be posted over the weekend, so you'll have it Monday to work on. Okay, if you want to do it over the weekend, all the better. We'll go over the review sheet first. We'll go over the questions first, and then we'll worry about the test. Okay? So does anyone have any questions? My camera seems a little bit on the crooked side. There we go. Does anyone have any questions in regards to how that's going to work? Okay. Please, the test is going to be exactly the same way you've been doing your homework. The only difference is, number one, pay very close attention to this. Number one, it will be timed. And you'll have one opportunity to do it. Okay, so the test will be timed. So do not click on that test until you're ready to physically do the test. And you will have an hour to get it done. Okay? It's as if you were taking a test in class, except you're taking it at home. Okay? Technically, you should be studying, but I'm not home to see what you're doing, am I? So, like I said, the test will be timed. So please make sure you're ready to do what you have to do. And the test will be automatically graded. So once you take it, you should see what your grade is in EDSB. Okay? Does anyone have any questions in terms of how that's going to work? Okay. Remember, you can always go back. If you have a conflict with another class, you can always go back and view the video later. I am going to be looking at participation based on whether or not you're turning in your assignments. So if I don't see assignments getting turned in by the end of the week, I'm required to let the school know that you're not doing my work. So please make sure you're doing the work. Okay? If there's an issue with EDSB crashing, it shouldn't be an issue. First of all, again, let me remind you, I don't suggest you taking the test in the middle of the morning. And the reason for that is because if there are a lot of people on EDSB at the same time, it poses a problem. I personally don't do my work until later in the day because I know less people are on EDSB at that moment. Okay? So getting on first thing in the morning to me is just not a wise idea because you have teachers creating assignments and all these things going on. Less teachers are going to be on EDSB later in the day because most don't like working past their contractual workday. So it'll be an easier time to get in. And I'll probably give you a couple days to do it. Now, in the event you find yourself in a situation where it crashed, send me a message and I'll reset the test for you. Okay? The test will be multiple choice. It'll be the same exact test you would take with the district. The only thing is you're going to take it in EDSB, unless the district tells me something else. So I'll let you know more when I know more. Sabrina, you said no, Ms. J. Derek, you said no, Ms. J, but I don't know what you're saying no to. Can you elaborate? Oh, you have no questions. Okay. All right. So, if no one else has any questions, please, if you have a question, let's see. The next test that we're going to take is going to be midpoint E. Okay, midpoint E is the next test we're going to take, and that'll be next week. You guys will have reviews and all of that. Okay, I will go through the material extensively with you before you take the test, so don't stress. We're getting through the activities a little bit faster, so we have a little bit more leeway to review for a test before we take a test. So I will give it once I feel that people are comfortable. By the way, I know that a couple of people asked me for help with forces and the equation and the chart that we did on Friday. I apologize. I am going to do that video and upload that video. I just haven't had a chance to do it because I've been working on a few other things this weekend, getting ready for this week, but I'm going to upload that video today. So I apologize in advance. I will have that video. It won't be live. It'll be just a regular video, but that'll be up later in the day. Yes. What I'm going to do today, I'll be posting review videos doing exactly what I've done in the past. If there's something I feel that would help you, I'll go through it and also go through it on the live channel as well. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing commentary that I'm not really appreciative of. I'm going to have to start blocking individuals who are posting things I'm not happy with. Anyone else have a question? Okay, so I think for now we should be good. I will post the homework later today once EDSB is not so incredibly crowded. And again, please go and see how you're supposed to submit assignments. There is a video there. I posted it last night. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a question and I'll be happy to answer it for you. All right. So if there's nothing else, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't stress. Teachers know that EDSB went down because we were complaining about it as well. So if you have a problem with an assignment and it's later in the day and you still can't get it up because the assignment was having, EDSB was having issues, email your teacher later today. Say, look, I've been trying to get an EDSB, I can't get in. But make sure you, your last resort, completely exit the system, restart your computer if you have to, or your phone, and try it again. By the way, good to know. I don't know how many of you have keyboards associated with your Xbox, but you can actually access Clever and any of those, any of the Clever apps. And I believe you can access EDSB through your Xbox. Okay, so for those of you who have struggled with some of that stuff, you can also access YouTube and some of that as well. That's another avenue for you to be able to access some of your online stuff, particularly if you don't have a laptop, so you're requiring your phone as a device primarily. So I thought I'd put that information out there. What do you mean you'll see your webcam? No, what I'm saying is if you're trying to go on EDSB and you're trying to do your work, if you're struggling with another form of device, you can use your Xbox as a device. Now, if you had a keyboard, it would work a lot better because it's really annoying using your controller to type, but it is another device that you can use. Okay. I don't know about the PS4. I mean, that's something you can definitely check. I have not tried a PS4. I have not submitted and purchased one yet because I have nowhere to put it. But if you have access to apps, you can try your PS4. Yep, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon is our next class. Okay. So, all right, guys. So if you have no more questions, have a wonderful day. I'll leave the chat box open for a moment in case anyone does have a question and they post afterward. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow.